Greetings. One of the most complex aspects of Dota 2 is itemization. Now, because of the complicated nature of it, most people usually rely on guides for their itemization, and that's not something to be ashamed of. In fact, it is highly recommended to follow item guides whenever you want to learn a new hero or try out a new position and role. But if you're going to truly level up your Dota game, you need to learn how to actively think about your build and make meaningful choices throughout the game. The first step in acquiring this ability is knowing your hero and position. Before you can truly begin to itemize and adapt to your situation, you must know what items are usually bought for that hero and your specific position. For example, Necrophos in position 3 builds differently than Necrophos in position 2. While playing mid, Necrophos has a rather strict path. He usually wants to buy an early Radiance into Boots of Travel. While position 3 Necrophos would also love a Radiance into Boots of Travel, circumstances of offlane usually call for other, more cheaper items, not to mention the different starting items that both positions have. This part is the simplest to learn. All you have to do is play 5 to 10 games on that hero using various item builds. Of course, using pro matches as a reference, since only pros know what the hell is going on in this game. Pay attention to the common items that are bought and their order. Bonus point if you try to understand the matchups and why the items were bought. After doing this, you might understand what are the items that are usually bought, and after that, we can begin our itemization journey. Game start. Itemizing begins at strategy time. Here you have to make some predictions. Take a look at the matchups. The first step is to decide if you'll need a magic stick. If the enemy has a spammy lineup, buy an early magic stick for efficiency. Other than that, 3 different scenarios usually occur in lane. The first is the most optimal one, which is lane domination. If you predict that you'll have a great laning stage, you and your lane partner maybe have a great synergy, or you counter the enemy heroes, you can buy items that help you achieve this outcome. You can get mangoes to spam a few more spells, an early Orb Venom or Blightstone for more harassment, or a Blood Grenade for that extra edge in chases. The second scenario is a stalemate. This outcome is relatively uncommon, but it can still occur occasionally. What happens is that neither side can get any definitive advantage over the other. Your hero may have a late power spike, for example Visage, which needs to get to level 6 before his game plan starts, or both sides have good survivability. In any case, you should itemize to avoid this situation, if you can. Try to buy items that give you an edge to break this stalemate. The third and the least ideal situation is a challenging and cancerous lane. This usually happens when the enemy hard counters you, or they have a deadly combo, like yourself plus any support with reliable crowd control. If you think that you'll face this kind of lane, ensure that you're equipped to deal with it. You can include more regen into your starting items or buy the bracer components on heroes that can choose between the 3 different stat sticks. Laning phase. Just like in real life, things will usually go differently than predicted. After all, not everyone is going to play their lane perfectly. People make mistakes and whiff their spells, X factors like rotations will change the outcome of lanes, and many others. In any case, you have to adapt your items to fit the situation. You first have to get to the lane and evaluate the circumstances. Maybe you find out that your support is one of those morons who soaks up XP for 4 minutes, watches you die, gets bored, and leaves to do something else. Maybe the enemy makes one too many mistakes, and you get some early kills. Perhaps no matter what you try, all that happens is in the lane is a CSing competition. In any case, making a choice and committing to it is essential. What does that mean? Well, for example, if you see that things are going well for you and decide to build some item that help you dominate in the lane, you shouldn't start jungling 2 minutes later. One thing that will help you visualize your game plan better is learning the value of small values. What do I mean? Well, take a look at Infused Raindrop. A simple item, right? Damage blocking against spells and a small amount of mana regen. Well, that mana regen makes a significant difference. Remember, Dota 2 is a highly complex game. Small values such as random damage numbers, mana regen on items like Raindrop, saved mana from threat switching, and many different others make different fluctuations throughout the game that get amplified. Now, that is a lot of big words, but basically, if you're dominating, buy items that help you keep that advantage. If you're in a stalemate, break it. And if you're being destroyed, buy tools to recover, or at the very least, not make the situation worse mid-game. Now, this is where the fun begins. This is the stage where you can buy some of your signature items. This part of the game is influenced heavily by the laning stage. In this part, you need to tap into the knowledge that you have earned by following item guides. The task here is for you to address weaknesses in your draft, provide tools to your team that can help against the enemy, or react to the enemy's action. You may need dispels against their draft, or maybe you need more protection as support, or maybe you just need more kill potential. Again, this depends highly on your hero and position, as each has different items and various choices. But look at the common items bought at mid-game, determine their usual uses and functions, and choose accordingly. Late game. This is the part where it gets similar to the beginning of the game, where there will be three main scenarios. You're dominating the enemy is dominating you, or it's just a stalemate. As before, you can choose to get an item like Daedalus or Abyssal Blade to further solidify your lead, buy dispels and defensive items like Pipe or Lotus to survive the enemy onslaught, or break stalemates with a Nullifier or MKB. One thing that you must pay attention to, regardless of your position or hero, is the amount of resources you get access to. In a Dota game, you have access to a limited amount of resources throughout the game. An item might let you deal with a powerful enemy, for example Eye of Skadi or Shiva to deal with high regen, but you can't buy that item because of your position, hero, or circumstances. In any case, you must choose your items realistically and based on the amount of resources available to you. And that's it for now. I haven't even begun to scratch the surface of the complexities of itemization in Dota, but this should give you a starting point to understand the basic concepts behind this aspect of this beautiful game that we play called Dota. As always, feel free to comment your opinion down below. If you like the video, like it, and if you dislike it, dislike it, and subscribe if you want more videos like this. But for now, goodbye.